Good morning, all my beautiful people. I just want to say thanks for being here and talk a little bit about the channel. My channel consists of truth because I am a truth seeker. My name, aka known as Truth Seeker 56. That means the year I was born in 1956. And truth seeker, that means that I know the truth. I've been following the truth ever since I was 4 or 5 years old, and my brain was never altered by any kind of influence or religion. And that's what makes me a high level truth seeker. Some truth seekers there has been brainwashed at one time, and then it changed, like what's his name? He's talks against religion and everything, but he was a believer at one time. So then he found out so that means high rank. Then Dr. Ray Hagen. Yeah, I'm a higher rank. I'm a high rank truth seeker because the age I was dealing with this was 4 or 5 years old, and that's very young. That's all my life. So therefore, I was never been touched at one time or another by any kind of influence and believe and then change. No, I was never that. I was always, a non-believer from the beginning. Yep. That means my mind was open from the start. It was always open, and I could see truth in things, from a long time ago. But anyway, enough about that. What I want to talk about today is this morning. It's a beautiful day. Look at all the farms, the grapes, flowers, and cabbage and different things in the garden. And we wake up every day. We thank that we are alive, and we have to learn to stay together and respect each other, and don't sweat the little stuff in life. You know, look at the greater side and we can all get along together very well. But with those human conditions intact, this makes it harder for people to realize that, hey, I know the truth, and I don't have to be repent later on. Like, yeah, look at this beautiful yellow flower right here. That's nice. Yeah. So I always like flowers and everything. I haven't prepared anything special to discuss, but when I really open the channel up, I'm gonna have a topic. I'm gonna do like a 30 minutes discussion, a video, and different topics and everything. So, so the reason why I'm a chosen one is because I handle my emotions well. I usually let nothing outside control my emotions inside. That means that you can call me anything. You can say anything to me, and it will not affect inside because I know it's not truth. See? And I don't let outside stuff gets in here. See? That's takes practice and by knowing the truth. And I never was racist against different people, like white, Caucasian, Mexican, religion. I never was any racist, religious. I always loved the church. I love to go to church, and I love the people in the church and everything. But the word in the Bible, whatnot, I don't get lifted from it because I already know this literature and it's not reality. And I've known that for a long time. And to tell you how I came about all this is that when I was like 3 or 4 years old, I stumbled over the Old Testament Bible. And so I saw the pictures in the Bible, and the pictures didn't look reality. I mean, I seen horrible stuff in there. I seen heaven and hell. I seen a big man in the sky with a beard, and I saw a man with a baby and a knife about to hurt a baby and everything. And then when Santa Claus came around the house, I thought that was that man I saw in the Bible, so I was scared of Santa Claus for a while. And then I figured out that Santa Claus wasn't reality and everything. And so when I got a teenager, it's time for to get converted, because they used to come by the house and they used to encourage all the people in the rural country areas to convert their kids to Christianity. Make sure they pushed that very hard. And the reason why they pushed that, because they knew it was a brainwashing tool. And they needed that to still embed in their brains for eternal, the rest of their life. They'll believe it, and then when it gets hectic, then it be a ball of confusion. See, and that's what the problem with our young people today. They see the reality of it now, but then again they've been taught something differently, and now they are confused in their brain. See, and that's what brainwashing does, and then the youth is getting affected more now because they don't believe. They see the truth now, but it's hard for them to believe it, so it comes to confusion now. My truth-seeking method is not for the older people. It's not for you guys to get angry with me and say and hate on me. It's not for that. It's not for you. I know that you cannot change your belief system. That is your strength now. You cannot change it, and I don't expect you to. But my message is to the confused and the young that who want to seek the truth and have their own belief system and go from there and handle emotion better and deal with mental health crisis and all these human conditions that I was speak on earlier, like jealousy, racism, all these things, and greed, envy, all these human conditions that we have. We could, put those aside. All the problems in the world are there right now, like people fighting each other, don't like the Muslims, don't like the Christian, Islam, all this stuff. We can all get along. Why? What greed? What a person doing with $20 million cars parked in his garage? You can't drive but one. Why you need 50 acres of prime land and you can just one? But why you need all that? See, that is a problem. That's greed, and that's a sickness. It's mental illness that we have. We're supposed to be able to live and let live, and we're supposed to be able to provide for ourselves. See, each human being are supposed to feed themselves, and that's what's supposed to become naturally in human beings. But if you have a belief in some higher power like Jesus Christ, you're not going to have that responsibility. So you're going to believe that God, Jesus Christ, is going to provide for you, and it's not their fault, because religion put people in the condition that they're in. They're not having self-reliance for themselves and all that. Religion does a lot of that. And so I think in the government started religion, and they got the world believing in a lot of these things. So they need to take responsibility for the condition that some of these people are on, that not providing for themselves and can't provide for themselves. It's part of their own fault. Now, I started out with nothing. My mother passed away, and I never knew my mother. And my daddy couldn't take care of the kids, so he let grandma took care of the kids. That was a good thing he did. He did it because he didn't love me or whatever. He did it because he needed the help and he couldn't do it. And he was able to allow someone else to do it without having it in it. That was good that he did that. And I grew up. We had farmlands, and we worked and helped out in the family. And I always knew as a young person that it was my responsibility to help the family and help, because we got to bring this for ourselves, be responsible for ourselves. I grew up like that, and I started out with anything. When I was 18, 17, I had to make a decision a grown person's supposed to have made. But again, I turned around, I made the right decision at 17 years old. So then I started out, went to and took care of my things and got my own transportation. I know the basic things you need, and I did that. And I had a daughter when I was 21 years old, and I took 22 And I took care of responsibility, and I raised 3 daughters and everything, and taught them the right way and not the lies that was passed. I broke the cycle of this generation with my family. And so don't hate on me because I don't believe in heaven or hell or God or Christian or none of that, what you believe. Don't hate on me. Allow me to respect my beliefs and say, hey, you never know, he could be right. Don't think that I'm against you. I'm not against you. I love you. And you have to believe. I'm not trying to change your mind about nothing. I'm trying to get this message to the young so they can have a better mind control with controlling anger. And all that is connected and tied to the brain, the belief system. And they knew this. That's why they did that. What they did because of this, to have this mind control, and they have it over celebrities and all these rich people, and they have a few gatekeepers and everything. This thing, another thing I want to say too, Charlie Kirk, he was murdered. People, the elite, the people on top did this to protect the truth. They'll do any and everything to protect the truth. Malcolm Jamal was killed like that. Martin Luther King, they all was eliminated and silenced by this machine called the upper, high up government. And that's the truth now. And all these religious leaders in church, that money that they put in goes right back into the system, some wealthy people. See, that money in the church, whatever, the message in the church should be differently. They should be helping creating doctors. They should be help creating dental work and stuff, and doing things to help the people in the community for them, and generating us good people, not just believing in some heaven and hell. Just pushing the narrative of the brainwashing lies that from the past. And that's what's going on right now. And all these ministers and bishop deacons, shame on you. Shame on you. You celebrities out there that don't say nothing to help their people just for a buck, shame on you. All the rich, wealthy people, elite, shame on you. All you people are just control freaks and power struck, and you're wrong. You don't believe in something, but you want someone else to believe in to keep them powered down. See, but it didn't work with me. I know the truth about the world, and I know the government is based on lies and everything. I know this, and they'll do anything to prevent the truth from coming out. And so black people in the world won't know themselves. All human beings came from the black race. All. Yeah, they came from the black race, and they don't want this knowledge to come out and stuff like that. And they do every mean, they're athlete. The first thing they got to do, oh, I believe in, I got to thank my God and all this. But they got to push the God narrative. Why they push this God narrative so hard? Because they want to keep the young believing. That's the key to all this mind control bullshit. And that's my message for the day, world. And I'll get back with you on another discussion. And next time I'll be more in a presentative way in my office, and we can have a better discussion and listen carefully. So anyway, thanks for listening to me. I am Truth Talker 56, makers from the History of the Hood channel, YouTube. Thank you.